Today's discussion is based on world trends in cinema. Here is Bandhu Disanayaka talking to Dr. Dharmasena Pathiraja, a renowned film director from Sri Lanka.
Dr. Pathiraja, when we look at the world cinema, from era to era, from time to time, there has been various paradigm shifts. So, what can you say about the new trends in the world cinema?
No, now the film, not only film, the any medium of art, develop parallel to the global standards. So you can't just isolate one the film or literature of one country as a kind of the great art with a high aesthetic value. You know? So you always compare your creations with the other trends developing in the world. So it's highly global.
Right.
So there won't be any national cinemas in any country or national literature in any country without any influence from the from outside the world.
So when you started your career early in the 70s, were you influenced by the world trends available those days?
Yes, I think I can say like that. Now I started in early 70s. I thought that I am doing a kind of a different film. Actually, those days it was different to when you compare to the local film scene. And I thought that mine are different films. But later, now when I look back about my career, I thought that my film texts are not my own text. It has some kind of connection to the other text I had seen
earlier. So were you sort of influenced by people like Satyajit Ray who were making headlines those days?
No, I didn't really influenced by Satyajit Ray. But Satyajit Ray, as I said earlier, that's influenced by DCQ's Bicycle Thief.
Okay, so Dr. Pathiraja, we're coming back to the Sri Lankan cinema. I know that filmmakers like yourself and few others have made it to the world cinema, the scene of the world cinema. So what's happening in the cinema world in Sri Lanka today?
Now this is it's a really problematic to analyze because now as you said you can't call them trends but kind of a different waves.
Right.
Now industry, they say industry is flourishing with packed houses to films based on Buddhist themes and national ideology, that kind of stories. But I think it's not cinema. You can't call them cinema. It's like pendles, like Torang.
Actually, I was very disappointed to watch some of the creations usually based on Buddhist themes and so on. They were not cinema-like. I mean, not even a chronological or in the chronological order of the history. Are there any political restrictions or?
No. For those films, there's no restrictions. Only restriction, for the other things like for example, now. Recently, one of the good films made by Prasanna Vithanage. This film was censored because this is that censored by not the censor public performance board, but by the Ministry of Defense.
Right.
So they say that that it harness.
What were the reasons that they were citing?
They say it's tarnishing the image of the of soldiers, but it's utter nonsense, I think, for me.
Right. So it's just a literary creation.
Yeah, it's a creation, but now you can't, when you talk about war subject, you have to talk about soldiers, you have to talk about the victims and all these things are there. It's in the reality. But that these people, that because of, if it obstructs the ideology of the power, so then they say that it's not
Right.
It's not good for the people or something like that.
See, Dr. Pathiraja, now as a person who has been at Monash and completed your PhD and currently teaching in Sri Lanka on this field, see, you may have seen the growth of our community in Melbourne. There are newspapers, they're publishing books, there are radio programs, TV programs, and so on. And there's quite a lot of people interested in making films, getting into this field, short films, and all. In fact, some are considering doing feature films. So what sort of advice can you offer to these young people?
Best things to update their knowledge, just you can't do that. You may want to do it, but you have to, to update your knowledge about everything, not only the technology or the aesthetics. Because otherwise, now it's very easy. It's not, you don't need to go to a teacher or something like that. There won't be any advisor to give a proper advice. But when you explore the internet, there are a lot of material there. So first you go through them, and the practice is very important. Practice means not to practice as a cameraman, but you have to watch films, you have to read films, and you have to participate in discussions, workshops, and all these things. You can't just create because you want to create something.
Right.
Nowadays you can't do it. Even when we started, we didn't have any institution in Sri Lanka.
Right.
Still, we don't have a proper institution to study cinema or film studies. But what we had to do, we went everywhere. Where if there's a new film, national or internationally trained in anywhere in the country, we used to run to that place and watch films, and we used to get together and discuss about films and read films and to read books about written on films and all these things. That's how we collected our knowledge and
expertise.
And we had, I think, any generation they have a lot of talented people, but talent alone won't do anything. So you have to really chase, pursue,
Right. So those are the basic advices that you can give to our young people here.
It's not an advice, but an observation.
Right.
I learned through my career.
Right. Okay. Then finally, can I ask you what sort of global platforms are available for if somebody makes a creation to show that or to screen that?
Now, there are a lot of film festivals all over the world. More than 1,000 film festivals, known and unknown. So now in India, every city has a film festival. Unfortunately, we had only one film festival last year. This is the first Colombo International Film Festival.
Right.
But there are a lot of student film festivals, short film festivals, documentary film festivals, and with various topics there are film festivals, say gay and lesbian film festivals.
Yeah.
There are a lot of genres. So it's like, viewing films. Now, through YouTube, you can show your film.
Anyway, thank you very much for that advice, or what you call observations, and hopefully all our young people will be encouraged by that and make some films and make a mark in the field.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
We thank Dr. Pathiraja for participating in the program. Till we meet again next week, I am Mihiri Disanayaka.